the number one concern was the the neck pain.
Uh-huh.
It was really frustrating. It was probably about 3 or 4 years that I had been going, and I've tried physical therapy, and I've tried let's see, just muscle relaxants. That was something that the doctor had prescribed, and none of that really helped the pain, or I didn't feel the relaxation in the muscles or anything. So I was just looking for something that would help get rid of some of the pain, because it had moved to my lower back, because it hadn't been in my back at first.
Was the neck pain, was it a dull, sharp pain, or was it a pain that you felt with movement?
Yeah, just a pain with movement. So really, if I'm still, I didn't feel anything until I would move a certain way, and oh my gosh, I really hurt. So.
Okay. And you had been seeking physical therapy for treatment for that. Anything else, such as medications or?
I actually went to the doctor, and then they did an X-ray, and of my, I guess, the upper cervical area, and that didn't reveal anything. So he suggested physical therapy and just muscle relaxants. So that's basically it.
Did you find any kind of relief from the physical therapy or the muscle relaxers, or was it temporary?
Well, the physical therapy did a little bit. You know, the days when I went, and then I would go through the exercises. Now, some days were worse than others, because sometimes the exercise would irritate an area, so that didn't help at all. But I got a little bit of relief, but
Okay.
you know, always they just, you know, released me and said, you know, that's about all we can do. And I'm like, well, I'm still hurting, so.
Okay. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being 10% improvement, 10 being 100% improvement, where would you say you are at this point after seeing the doctor for about a month now?
The improvement now is probably about an 8.
Okay.
Yeah. I got pretty.
So you're still noticing it, just not quite as often.
Right.
Great, fantastic. Now, I know you had mentioned that the neck pain was causing some lower back pain.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of talk about that a little bit, and when that came on and how long that's been going on now?
The lower back pain has probably been about 2 years, because I did go. I got another chiropractic consultation, and they were going to do the you know, the main adjustments where they crack everything, and that was just. I had one session, and I'm like, I don't think this is for me, because it was just too much, and I didn't feel well afterwards at all. So, and when he took the X-ray, he said that I may have arthritis in my lower back, and I was like, well, I'm not too sure, but you know, I'd like to look into that further too. But I've gotten relief from my back, the back pain that I felt. So I'm just not sure. I'd like to get that reevaluated too.
Okay. Where would you say you are on a scale of 1 to 10 for the back improvement at this point?
Now, the back improvement, it seems a little bit slower, so that's probably about a 6.
Okay. Okay, and then I know you had mentioned something about having low energy or kind of fatigue. Was that going on for quite some time, or was it something recent you had noticed going on?
Yeah, and also with physical therapy, they noticed like the sinus pain may be contributing to some of that, and they tried to drain, you know, my sinuses. They would I guess he took his thumbs and he put them here, and it was some kind of trick they were taught, and I would lay back, and then they would do this, and my sinuses would drain, and I'd cough and everything. And so, I mean, that would work for that visit, but on a, you know, long-term basis, they didn't give me any type of anything else that I could do. So I ended up taking a lot of sinus medication. I think that may have caused a little bit of fatigue. Yeah, but I think I've noticed some of the sinus pressure had just lifted a little bit, and I can feel some, you know, more drainage, and I wasn't sure, you know, if that was a coincidence or if it was just part of the whole thing, because I feel straighter, you know. I feel like my posture is improving, because they said my head was starting to go forward, and I just needed to do something, or I would just, I don't know, feel like I would tilt over. So I feel straighter. I feel like I sit up straighter, and when I'm driving and everything. So
Okay.
that's been good.
Do you feel like the sinus pressure and the energy or fatigue are kind of on the same improvement level?
Now that's still probably about that 6 level too.
Okay.
It's improving, but
For both fatigue and for the sinus pressure? Okay.
yeah, some days are better than others. But I
Okay.
have more better days now. So
Good.
So that's an improvement.
Now, the last thing I want to ask you about is your first NUCA adjustment. Can you kind of describe it, what it was like, what you were expecting, and how you felt immediately afterwards?
Okay. The first adjustment, I didn't know what to expect, because he said it was going to be real low pressure, because after going to the chiropractor and getting all that cracked, he puts his knee in my back, and everything cracks, and I was just like, I think I was kind of terrified, because I just didn't know what to expect, and I had been living with the pain, and just was like, okay, I'm not sure how it's going to ever go away. But then once the adjustment came, I did have pain though. When I went home, it's like I couldn't do anything. I just had to rest. But afterwards, I still felt better, and I was like, you want to think, is it all in my head, or is it just, or am I feeling better? But I actually could feel a difference. My neck was, just that I have just pain right up under here, and that had lessened, and I just felt straighter. That's when I began to feel like I was just straight, and so that feeling was, because I could tell how off I had been, because I looked at the pictures of the person that was like off to the side, and I just really felt straighter, and just, because that makes you feel positive anyway, when you feel like you're walking upright and straight, and you're not slouching or anything. So I was more aware of my posture too. So that's something. And then I just started feeling like my back wasn't hurting so bad, and I was like, okay, let me give this a few more days. And it was really better.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, we like to kind of think that any kind of improvement, whether it's 20 to 30 or 30 to 40, is great. I mean, you're doing great. We're seeing numbers about 60 to 80%, which is fantastic.
Great. Yeah.
Means you're really on the right path here.
Mm-hmm.
When did you really start to notice that you were seeing these improvements? Was it right away, kind of like had you said in the beginning, and did it stabilize, or did it come and go, or are you just kind of at a level where you think, okay, I'm at 60%, I'm at 80%, let's just keep going, let's get to that 100%. Where do you think, how long do you think it took, and where do you think you are now?
I think it seems like it was right away. Even though I did feel that pain, I just felt, I guess because of just the alignment, and being off for so long, and just getting back into alignment, I felt it right away, and I'm feeling, as those numbers go up, I just want to keep going, and just start feeling better and better, because I'm doing things more, like I'm adding exercise in, and sometimes I know when I overdo it, and then I just scale back a little bit because I feel more pain. So with that, and then coming back in, and sometimes I am out of alignment, and I could kind of tell, because I don't know what I did, but I guess just going for that 100%. I'm ready to go.